Working 9 to 5 and just can't face that homeward drive?
This is a TV spot for the Western Reserve Transit Authority from the 1990s. This is the WRTA's new spot, which was just released today. While the production and music have been updated, the mission of the WRTA remains the same as when the organization began 50 years ago.
We carry people. That's what our business is, to transport people.
But it's not just the WRTA's business, says Executive Director Dean Harris.
Thank you very much.
Pre-COVID, annual ridership on WRTA's 27 routes was 1.5 million users.
Based on our surveys, over half of them, or about half of them, were going to work.
Indeed, the WRTA plays a vital role in keeping the Valley's economy moving.
Jobs requested.
Naya Benson is a good example.
I would have had to call off work, and I wasn't trying to miss work at all.
Benson is working at the new Boscov's in the Eastwood Mall. She'd never ridden the bus before, but when her carpool driver had to cancel, she was suddenly without a way to get to work.
And it's actually a smooth ride, so I'm appreciative. I'm happy that it's convenient for people because they really uses this every day to get to work.
On this day in September, several riders on the Warren Express route are headed to their jobs in and around the Eastwood Mall. Jordan Elliott says it used to cost him $200 a week to take an Uber to his job at K Jewelers.
Right now, this is like my main transport, and it's very important for me to have this bus.
Sanika Shrestha says the bus allows her to always arrive to her job at Cricket Wireless on time.
It means a lot for me because I have to go for a walk and it's always on the time.
Other popular routes include the 5 South, which travels along South Avenue from Youngstown to Boardman, as well as the routes along Mahoning and Belmont Avenues.
Working with the business community, we did some surveys to see who needed transportation. So a good example lately was at North Jackson.
The North Jackson-Lordstown corridor is perhaps the best opportunity for the WRTA to expand its service. While large employers such as Things Remembered and the new TJX Home Goods Distribution Center already rely on WRTA, Altium Cells is also hoping to utilize the service when it opens its $2.3 billion manufacturing plant that will employ 1,100.
And they really would like transportation.
But riders aren't just going to work. Many of the most popular routes are so because they travel to large concentrations of retailers and healthcare providers, says Director of Transportation Judy Rodriguez.
It's their livelihood. I mean, if they can't get to work or to a grocery store or to a social function, they have nowhere to go.
Riders have been depending on the WRTA since the then privately owned Youngstown Transit Company became the publicly owned WRTA in 1971. Funded through property taxes until 13 years ago, today most operations are funded through federal, state, and local sources, such as a 0.25% sales tax Mahoning County voters approved in 2008. WRTA has waived all rider fees since the pandemic began, and Harris says they're considering making it permanent.
Plus, if we can grow the ridership, that will bring more federal money in.
WRTA has a fleet of 81 vehicles and employs 125. In the future, Harris says he sees the organization adding routes, expanding service, and adopting new technology. Next year, WRTA will deploy an autonomous shuttle designed to coincide with Youngstown's Smart 2 corridor project.
We hope to run a route between Federal Station up 5th Avenue, connecting with YSU, and then going up to Mercy Health.
And in 2025, WRTA will begin adding electric buses to its current fleet.
It's going to probably take 12, 16, 18 years before we fully replace, because the bus has to last 12 years.
But whether electric or diesel, driven or autonomous, WRTA looks to continue making the Valley more accessible to all who live here, and thus keep the wheels of the local economy turning.
Brain Gain is sponsored by the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Coalition, Southwoods Health, Farmers National Bank, and Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC.